Anyone here ever been asked by a personal trainer to engage a certain muscle and then not be able to figure out how to do that? So what I teach, I think, is the missing link to that. Many people assume that when they can't engage a certain muscle, that must mean that that muscle is weak. And sometimes that's true, but more often than not, the reason this happens is that that muscle is actually very tight or very strong because it's been in a state of constant contraction for a long time. And this happens more often than not, especially in this day and age, because of the stress of how we live, the repetitive motions that we do with our body, like moving our arms forward, moving our arms back over and over and over again. And when we do repetitive motion like that, our muscles tend to get stuck in those patterns. And what's even more interesting is that often it's not a muscle issue, it's more of a brain pattern. So the brain communicates through the nervous system as to how much tension a muscle should be holding on to. And often our muscles hold on to more tension than what is necessary. This can show up in muscle cramping. It can show up in having kind of shaky or robotic movements in muscle groups when we try to release the tension. So what I offer is simple exercises that restore our resting or healthy level of muscle tension in our body. We don't want too little and we don't want too much. And often for a majority of people, even when they're resting and think that they're not tense, their baseline level of tension is higher than it should be. So I teach a really, really simple technique that's super easy and may not seem effective, but it's highly effective. So it's a really gentle contraction of a muscle and then a really slow, long, drawn out release. But this isn't contraction of a muscle like tightening a certain muscle group. I will teach you a movement that will automatically contract that muscle that you're trying to engage. And then I'll have you release out of it as slowly as you can. And this is what starts to bring that sensation back online for that muscle group that you're having trouble sensing. So instead of focusing on the certain muscle group and trying to contract that, we simply do a movement that automatically contracts that muscle. And I'll bring your awareness to that, and I'll help you notice it through bringing your attention to it, maybe bringing a sense of touch. So you might feel that muscle and notice that it feels like it's engaged. And then we're really slowly releasing out of that contraction. And it's that slow release that will connect the muscle to the brain and help you bring sensation back online. So it's called a pandiculation. And that's a big crazy term for something that you all know exactly what it is. So if anybody's ever seen a cat or a dog, anytime they've been still, they've been sleeping, they get up off the couch, off the floor, and they immediately go into that lengthening stretch, right? But it's not exactly a stretch. Most people think that stretching is what they need to do, but it's a pandiculation, which is a gentle contraction and a slow, long, drawn out release. The idea is we're retraining the connection between the brain and the muscles, and it's extremely effective for prevention and maintenance, allowing our bodies to move in a healthy way for our entire lives. It's super effective for reversing chronic pain and tension issues that we might have in our joints and in our muscles. So when it comes to the face and jaw, the neck, the shoulders, the back, the hips, the pelvis, the knees, the feet. There are movements that I can teach you that address absolutely every possible muscle-related or functional issue that you can think of.